Hey guys, welcome on in. It is Jordan with the betlocker.com here to bring you another NFL props video for week 6 in the NFL. I'm going to give a couple that I like tonight for Thursday night, and I'm going to give a couple that I like for Sunday. And we did great last week. We went 5-0. We were 8-1 overall after Sunday, so after week 5 with our props, which easy spots last week with the David Montgomery anytime touchdown, Woody Marks under rushing yards. Great spots. And then we went, to tell you the truth, 0-3 on Monday. So that is literally how it goes. You either win them all or you lose them all, but that's why we do it. It is just the possibilities and spots and every spot that I took on Monday was the correct spot to take, and it just didn't go your way. Sometimes it does that, and sometimes your cards don't cash. But this week is all going to cash for sure. Our record is still awesome on these props. Like I said, we were 8-1 after that Sunday in just our free props, and we were 13-3 overall with all of our props going into Monday. So take those 3 losses. That's now 13-6. We're still doing awesome. So let's look at tonight's game. There are 3 plays that I like in particular. So like I've said before in my props videos, I do like to look for unders first that I like, because if you just take 6 overs, I mean, chances are that's a lot that has to hit. And it's always under until it's over. I know a stupid saying, but that is the truth. So I always do like to look at unders before I take any overs. However, I was looking at all of the numbers and they are pretty spot on. I mean, the one under I can think of right off the top of my head is that feels like a trap no matter which way you bet it, is going to be Saquon Barkley and anything related to him. He was limited in practice. He didn't even practice Monday. He was limited Tuesday. And then Wednesday, he did a full practice. So in that way, he can play. Obviously, we know what he did last year against the Giants in that revenge game. What was it? 200 something yards, 85 touchdowns, whatever he did. He crushed him in the revenge game, right? So go into this week on a short week playing Thursday night, and his knee is sore again. And so it just feels like the number is right at a perfect spot to where it can be too inflated, and they limit him because it actually is a problem, his knee, and he doesn't play like he really didn't last week. He only had 9 attempts. He only had 30 yards. And I mean, he had one good pass catch for that run touchdown, but that was it. That was literally it. And then they kind of really limited him last week. So is that going to happen again? I don't know. Is he going to get his revenge again? And he's just going to be motivated by killing the Giants again? Maybe. It just feels like a trap all the way around. So that was one under I wanted to take. If I did lean anyway, I would take less than on his rushing yards or under on his rushing yards, to tell you the truth, because I mean, usually when these guys are good, they're good to go, but I don't know, just judging off what they did with him Sunday and him wanting to play, but these guys just want to win regardless. I don't know if they're going to play into that narrative to let him go and crush the Giants. So I would lead less than there. Having said that, like I said, all the other ones that I looked at, I kind of like the mores or the overs. So the first one that I like, and I'm using Prize Picks this time because DraftKings has some lines, I guess, but I'm using Prize Picks because they have these early lines for Sunday, and they don't have all of them. I just like to get these props videos out so I can mix them into one for Thursday, one for Sunday. So the first one I like is Jackson Dart. The cool thing about Prize Picks, this is why I also picked Prize Picks for this one, is they have rushing attempts. Where is it? There it is. Rushing attempts. So here's Jackson Dart. And a rushing attempt is, an actual like run attempt, like they draw it up the play that way. And if the pocket collapses and he starts to scramble and tries to run, that counts as an attempt as well. I feel like that's probably going to be the case this time because, Eagles defense is good. They can get that pass rush going. And I feel like there's going to be some scrambling going on or some holes, and that's where he's going to try and make his rushing attempts. So over 6.5, I like a lot. You can switch this on Prize Picks, or I believe it's 6.5 or 7 on any of the sports books as well. But I like the over regardless. So, I mean, he hit that in the last 2 games. He got 10 and 7. But like I said, Eagles defense is even better than the last 2 defenses he's seen. And if that pocket is collapsing, he's going to be trying, any rookie quarterback, what do? They panic and then they try to rush it. Boom, attempt. So I like just the regular old Green Goblin. 6.5 was the number it had on. 9.5 is way too much, but it won't let you do less on these. So I would do the 6.5. I really like that one a lot. Now, the other one that I do like, which is on Prize Picks, this isn't where you can twist it at whatever book you're playing on. You can take these guys at anytime touchdowns. They happen to be in a combo here, which I really like, is Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts over 1.5 rushing or receiving touchdowns. So, I mean, obviously, we already know what's going to happen, right? Tush push and Saquon as a rush. Either way, it doesn't matter. Even the best thing about this one in Prize Picks, I think that they make a mistake and maybe they get rid of this altogether, is this exact scenario. It doesn't matter if they do the tush push or they hand it off if they get in the situation twice. Like, you have both combinations. So this feels like the easiest and my most favorite pick of the night. I don't know if it's available anywhere else but Prize Picks, and maybe they don't do this so often because I'm not on here all the time. I like to do it on books. I make the trek to where I can just place bets because there are better odds on the books like FanDuel Sportsbook and DraftKings Sportsbook and or Pick Six. But either way, maybe you take both of them anytime touchdown, or if you're on Prize Picks, more in the combo, and then you're in a smash spot where it doesn't matter what happens and you're not pissed if they do a tush push and you're not pissed if they do a handoff. So this is perfect. I love that one. And then the last one that I want to pair it with, there's a lot of them. The bad thing about Prize Picks, so as much as I just hype them up with this pick right here, they don't have any Cam Scatterboo lines. I guess they just don't want to take the risk on him because, to tell you the truth, I really like the over in rushing for Cam Scatterboo this week. This week alone, they are, or going into today, let me go check the Eagles defense. They're giving up on average, Eagles is 126 yards per game for rushing. And I believe Cam Scatterboo's rushing yards is only like 47, and he's going to be the workhorse again. If he gets 18 attempts, just by sheer usage on him, he's going to hit that number. So I like the over on him. They don't have him on Prize Picks, so we can't mix him in here. So another one that I do like for Thursday night, then, having said that, when I was looking at these ones, I would probably even do 2 of these, is targets in general, or or receptions as well. So let me go to receptions. You can go reception targets, and they're okay. But I think I might like, let's see, where are they? Just receptions in general. Why am I? There we go. They're right here. So I do like, honestly, I like over at, this is also where wherever you're putting these bets in, Devontae Smith's actual number, like on FanDuel Sportsbook, is 4.5, juice to the over. So yeah, I mean, 5 is, I don't know, 5 is right on the number. I still would take more there, honestly. And then another one that I do like is I would like Theo Johnson over 3.5. I think that he's the bailout guy, and he's that big body tight end that Jackson Dart also likes to panic throw to. So there you have it, guys. There is a card that you could lock in right there for Thursday Night Football. Like I said, if you're on Prize Picks, this is the best pick of the night. I love this pick. Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts over 1.5 rushing or receiving TDs combined. I mean, that's just the prime, the prime bet that you want for the Eagles. So let's do one for Sunday. So I was looking at Sunday again, and there are some plays that I do like as well. And let's go to the passing yards on Sunday. I wanted to target the Jaguars because on average, they're giving up 239 yards per game, almost 240, which doesn't sound like a crazy lot, but I do believe that but Jacksonville's defense is pretty good. They're good at stopping the run. They're good at stopping the pass, yada, yada, yada. But Seattle is really good as well. This might be a low scoring game, but if they're going back and forth like last week, I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way, whether it be Seattle or whether it be Jacksonville. So if they're matching points and if they're passing just like Seattle was last week against the Bucks, then I will take over 228 passing yards for Sam Darnold all day long. And you can see right here, he's hit that the last 2 games easily. He almost got there in a Saints game where they didn't need to. They blew them out, and then he got there against Pittsburgh easily. So I love that more right there, or the over in Sam Darnold's passing yards. And then go and stack it just like we do with DFS. Go and stack if he's going over, his main target is going to obviously be Jackson Smith-Njigba. And look at his stats lately. Where is he? Jackson Smith. Right there. 82.5 yards. Sounds like a lot, right? Look at this. 132, 79. The only time he has not gotten to the 80s. 96, 103, 124. Just by sheer volume alone, he gets there. And so I really like to pair those two up. If Sam Darnold gets there, then so will Jackson Smith-Njigba. They won't let you on Prize Picks, so that makes sense. But you could do it on FanDuel, or you could do it on DraftKings or any other sportsbook that you use. It makes sense on why these guys don't pair it up, because that makes too much sense. But if you're in a state that can do it with sportsbooks, go ahead and do it there. That's okay, because so pick whichever one you like there. I like Sam Darnold a little bit more. It gives you a little bit more outs. I do like Jaylen Warren under rushing yards. That might sound crazy, right? Pull that name out of a hat and pull the rushing yards out of the hat. 48.5 yards. So he has not hit that once this year yet. He is up against a Cleveland defense that only has allowed, let me go check real quick. Cleveland, on average per game, is only allowing 75 yards. Now that sounds like, hey, that's more than 48, right? Well, let me put it in perspective. They are number 1 in the league in rushing defense by only allowing 75 yards, compared to last in the league, which is Miami, who's giving up 174 rushing yards. So you can see the vast difference in there, and everyone in between. There is more than half the league is giving up 100 yards in the rushing game, and only 12 teams is giving up less than 100, and then the best is Cleveland. So, and that's combined rushing, quarterback, running back, doesn't matter. So I like Jaylen Warren's been a little bit injured, a little bit beat up. He is used a lot in the passing game instead. So I don't think he's going to get there with his rushing yards. So I would take less there for Jaylen Warren. And then I would also like another under, and we're just going right back to the well. And what if now I'm not speaking to you guys, or I'm not looking at your comments, but comment down below, obviously, who is the one cornerback that is the lockdown, the first name that comes to your head, the cornerback that locks down a receiver. I'll give you time. Go ahead and comment. That's right, Pat Surtain. He locks down anyone he's up against. So who's he up against this week? Garrett Wilson. Now, just as much as I like Garrett Wilson, and I'll go to him all the time, I was heavy on him in DFS last week. Now, but he's up against Pat Surtain. And he is, they're in a foreign place. They're in London this week. And Justin Fields obviously likes to take off and run a lot. Pat Surtain is covering his best receiver, and he's locked down every receiver so far this season again. So 55.5 receiving yards. This could feel like a little bit of a trap. So if you're on a book, I would probably stay away from this one, and I would just go Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith, and Jaylen Warren. But for sake of I am using this site today, I would still take less than, And obviously he's still okay. 71, 82, 84, 50, 95. But so just by sheer volume, you think maybe he's going to get there, but they're already factoring in Pat Surtain as that because his props are usually always in the 60s. So, but let me just pull up real quick just to justify this of why I was saying Pat Surtain and target anyone that he is going to be locking down. So let's go through it real quick. They played the Eagles last week. So Pat Surtain was locking down A.J. Brown. He held him to 43 yards on 5 receptions. 8 targets, 5 receptions, 43 yards. Bengals, remember them? He was in charge of the best wide receiver in the game, Jamar Chase. 8 targets, 5 receptions, 23 yards. Didn't get there to his props. Chargers, anyone. It doesn't matter. Quentin Johnston and Keenan Allen got there, so he was probably in charge of locking down Ladd McConkey, and he got him 41 yards, but then he probably switched to, I don't remember that game of who he was trying to lock down. Let's go to Colts, probably in charge of locking down Michael Pittman. And Michael Pittman got 4 receptions for 40 yards. Didn't get there to his prop. Let's go to Titans, the first game of the year. He's in charge of locking down Calvin Ridley. And he got 8 targets, 4 receptions, 27 yards. I'd live and die with it. I mean, until he proves us otherwise, just go to the well and take whoever is going against him, their best receiver, if they do have a number 1 receiver, and take the less than, because that's cashed 5 out of 6 weeks now. So, or 4 out of 5 weeks, sorry. So there you have it. There's a Sunday card for you. Sam Darnold over passing yards, Jaylen Warren under rushing yards, and Garrett Wilson less than or under receiving yards. That's it, guys. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. Please buy yourself some good karma, and you'll cash your tickets, and these prop picks will cash for you as well. Go ahead and let's make some money tonight, and be on the lookout tomorrow for my free picks videos for college and for NFL. And as always, go ahead and go to thebetlocker.com, and I will have my DFS cheat sheet posted on Saturday. I'm doing it on Saturdays now instead of Fridays because there's so much news and there's so many guys that get ruled out on Friday afternoons. So I'm waiting until all that news comes out, and I'm posting these Saturday morning now. So with your membership, like I always say, you get all of our locker picks, which are 4 picks for the NFL, 4 picks for college, and soon to be NBA season coming up, and then golf season when it comes back in January. DFS cheat sheets for NFL and for golf when it comes back in January. Prop bets almost every single day, especially when NBA comes back too. That is our best prop bet game is in the NBA. That will be daily. Daily picks and free picks. All this cheap price, $6.99 a week or $19.99 a month. Want to win together. You also get a membership into our Discord, and you join our Discord where all of our community has been crushing together and bouncing those bets and those ideas off each other and winning even more profit, especially Saturday mornings going into college football. So, all right, guys, that's it. Be on the lookout for my videos tomorrow. Hit that like button. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for the support, and we'll see you next time. See you guys.